folks. Oh, it's not going to tell me if anybody's here. Oh no, it totally does. I'm going to fix my hair while I wait for people to actually come in here. Hi, BookTube, it's Sylvia. Please leave me a heart emoji or smiley face down below to let me know that you are here. Right? That's my jam. That's what I say. It's been a while. I have been swamped, absolutely swamped with work. I haven't had time to have a life. Hi, Elizabeth. Hello, and the two other people that are watching. You're gonna see my hair be really messed up for a second, and I'm not sorry because that's life. Um, Hi, folks. Thank you. I missed all of you also. Hi, Ashley, and hi, Maggie. I have so many bobby pins in here. Oh my god. So yeah, life stuff. I should update you guys about. I'm engaged. My partner and I have been together for 6 years, but we've known each other since we were 10. At this point, it's like protocol, like, get engaged. Part of the reason, hi, I missed you too. I missed all of you. Part of the reason why I needed to be engaged is because we wanted to get kittens, and I didn't want to do that with someone who I'm not engaged to. So we have kittens now. Thank you. Thank you very much for your congrats. We're very deeply in love. We're very happy, blah, blah, blah. So I have kittens now. I'm looking at them right now. Little Raw is falling asleep on the floor, and Little Boss is falling asleep in my chair, and they're so precious. They don't love me yet, which breaks my heart on a second by second basis. It's actually pretty devastating. But I'm sure they'll love me one day. But I have been super swamped, first of all, by taking care of kittens. Kittens are rough. I don't recommend. And also working hard, as I do. But hopefully things are going to be settling down now at work, and I'm going to be able to have a life again and talk to you lovely people and read books. Yeah, I've had cats before, and I had a cat before. She's the love of my life. And I don't remember it taking her a long time to love me. Hi, sweetheart. And every single time I've ever been around a cat, they're at least polite. They at least do that cute little thing where they like rub the side of their body against you. But we'll get there. I mean, a second ago, Boss, he's my little Siamese, he was on the bed, so like they're not scared of me. And he smelled my foot today, which basically means he's gonna love me soon. And Raw does let me pet him sometimes. He's just out like a light. I can't. Well, I'm sorry, Daisy attacks you sometimes. No, they don't love me yet. They absolutely don't love me yet. And the thing about me is I'm very extra. I really like that terminology, like being extra. I hope I'm not like appropriating anything, but I really like that term because it's so perfect for me because I just go to the extreme in everything I do. So now that I have kittens, I have watched, I want to say like 200 videos about taking care of cats. I have an Instagram for them now, and I've been watching that Jackson Galaxy show on Animal Planet. What is it called? My Cat from Hell. So I know a lot about cats now. Oh, and like every single cat documentary that I've been able to get my hands on, I have watched. So I went from not being able to talk about cats at all because I was grieving the love of my life for 8 years or like 7.5 years, to being an expert and to doing like thorough research and exposing myself to all cat related information. But anyway, I'm not in a cat group. I don't even know what a cat group is. You're gonna have to explain that to me. But we're here to talk about books, right? Did I update you on my life? I'm engaged, I have cats. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So hi, Karen. I've read a lot of books since the last time I updated you. I think the last time I did a live show, I talked about like books 24 through 27 that I read this year, and I've read like 100 books. So we have a lot to talk about. Hi, Lily and Eleanor. Lily Eleanor. Hi. Amber and I are in a group where people post photos of their cats on Facebook. What? That sounds fantastic. Wow, I'm like actually thinking about joining. Okay. We'll talk about cat groups. But I'm keeping an Instagram. I'm not great at photography. My partner is, but he never takes photos, so whatever. Anyway, books. Once I move, I promise I will make your kittens tiny hats. Thank you. My kittens will probably eat the tiny hats you make for them. They're so fucking cute. They're asleep right now. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, ask Amber about the groups. I will. So, books. Let's talk about books. So the last book I talked to you about was Orbiting Jupiter. So what am I up to? What should I tell you about now? I've definitely read a lot of manga that I need to do like a whole separate video about. I think the next book I read was Amina's Voice. I will make more if they eat them. Yeah, make them out of meat. They like meat. Start an Amazon wishlist for your cats. Listen. Oh, I mean, my partner doesn't like really watch my videos, so I could tell you, but my partner would be very upset to know that I spent a lot of money on these animals this month. I'm like actually afraid to look at my credit card statement. But yeah. So Amina's Voice. Do I remember anything about Amina's Voice at this point? A banana cat bed. Listen, I really want to get them a hammock. Also, listen, I got them this. I'm so upset. I got them this stupid fucking perch, right? That you attach to the windowsill. First of all, my windowsill isn't wide enough, so it doesn't work. Second of all, they don't even fucking go on it. Whatever. Now it's a fucking dresser perch. I don't know. Whatever. Amina's Voice. Let me just open up Goodreads because I don't remember. That's where it's a middle grade, and she was learning how to sing, and her uncle was visiting from somewhere. I remember it was a sweet book. Okay, I gave it 4 stars, so I liked it. And of course, I didn't review it on Goodreads because I hate myself and I like to make my life difficult. So I don't remember Amina's Voice, but I gave it 4 stars. And you know, my 4 star is like another person's. Well, how do I? I'm critical. So if I gave it 4 stars, it must be good. Sorry, you're gonna get a lot of reviews like that for a little bit because I was just out of the reading world. I had no time. I also read Heartberries, which is a nonfiction memoir by a woman. A woman's coming of age on the Seabird Island Indian Reservation in the Pacific Northwest. So I also gave this 4 stars, and I also didn't write a Goodreads review. But if I gave it 4 stars, it must be good. Oh, she talks about bipolar disorder? Damn. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't remember. Okay, next. I tried to read, oh wait, hold on 1 second. Okay, I also read another memoir, A Cup of Water Under My Bed, and I'm gonna be honest with you, because I read Heartberries and A Cup of Water Under My Bed right next to each other, I just like don't remember the differences between them. I felt like they were, I don't know if they were similar. I think one of them was written in a more poetic language. A Cup of Water Under My Bed, I gave like a 3.9. So I liked Heartberries a little bit more. So I have a feeling that one was a little bit more into the representation and it had a poetic flow to it. Okay, what's next? I read Bloomability. Okay. Bloomability was delightful. So I had never heard of this book before. It is a middle grade, but I guess it's like pretty well known. So it's about this little girl who gets sent to like her uncle or her aunt in Switzerland, and she's just kind of like not like discovering life, but she came from a family that's a little bit different, a little bit challenging, and it is one of those like sweet. Would I call it coming of age? I feel like it's weird to call it coming of age since she's like a kid and she like stays a kid. But it's one of those sweet middle grade novels that like was worth the read. It was fun. It was interesting. Um, According to my Goodreads, it says I'm still putting my thoughts together. Thanks, Sylvia. A million years later. Oh, I only gave it 3 stars. Huh. I guess it didn't have enough intellectual oomph, knowing me. Oh well. All right. Next book. Did I talk to you about Unravel Me? No. I read Unravel Me, the second book in the Shatter Me series. Shatter Me, I feel like if you're on BookTube, you know that like it's a series that's not very well respected. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I think there's plenty of terrible series out there. I don't think Shatter Me is the worst series out there. It's written in a very accessible way. I was pretty bored with Unravel Me. There's just a lot of nothing happening in a lot of pages. But I am invested. I really like Tahereh Mafi's writing. It's just so simple. But I do think the first book was more entertaining. And I'm going to finish the series because at this point I just want to know. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you very much. I like the way I talk about books too. And I really, really, really miss talking about them. So now, let me update you on the refrigerator monologues. So for my little astrology project or whatever, I read Mobility and I read the refrigerator monologues. I think this was in Pisces time. The refrigerator monologues rocked my world. It is a 5-star read. It's going to be on my top reads of 2019. I would have never picked this book up before if I wasn't like recommended it by a friend for this like little challenge I was doing. And the reason I wouldn't pick it up is because I tried to read The Girl That Circumnavigated Fairyland by Catherynne Ann Valenti, and I just found it so difficult to read. Like it was just so dense. It was packed with beautiful statements and thought-provoking material and like unique fantasy elements. So I totally understand why people love it, but I just don't have that kind of time or that kind of attention span. So I really thought I would never be able to enjoy anything else by this author, but the refrigerator monologues was nothing like that. It was so wonderful. I loved it so much. It's basically satire. Would we call it satire? Probably satire if I liked it because I love satire so much. It talks about, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the concept of fridging, but fridging is when you use women as a plot device to advance a male character's story, and that was mostly seen in comics. And there was this one comic where like some girl was chopped up and put into a fridge. Trigger warnings for my entire live show. I'm just going to speak freely. So that's where the term fridging comes from, because that particular character was put into a fridge, and then some feminist analytical reader was using that as like the coming off. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to speak freely. So the refrigerator monologues takes that idea of like the women who have been wronged, the women who have been used as plot devices, and it like focuses on them. I think after they die, like you know they're gonna die or something like that, or some of them you know they're gonna be dead, but we kind of get through their story and their importance. And Catherynne Ann Valenti includes a lot of like social justice speak in it, a lot of metaphor, a lot again satire. I just loved it so much. I was just blown away by this novel. It is definitely going to be a book that I'm going to be talking about. Yeah, I gave it 5 stars. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't even have to review. Like, if I give a book 5 stars, it must have been out of this world amazing, and this one was. Sorry about the camera shaking. I'm literally using 2 pillows to prop my laptop on. So, I'm gonna be getting a lot of camera shaking. Thank you, Karen. It's good to see you too. Have fun at work. Okay, next book. So then I read And We Stay, and by Jenny Hubbard or something. I'm really surprised I gave it a 4-star because I don't remember it fondly. I remember being very bored, and there's like this one topic that's being explored throughout this very short novel. I don't feel like it was explored as thoroughly or as like in a stimulating enough fashion for me. You know, I have pretty high standards. Yeah, so I gave it 4 stars, but I think I was just feeling very nice that day. I'm probably gonna lower it. Okay. Then I read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I could not put it down. If And We Stay is about the school shooting, I would highly recommend This Is Where It Ends. Is that about a school shooting? Oh, damn. I don't even remember. I don't think it was about a school shooting. I know somebody died, but I think they... Okay, I don't know, Morgan. I'll have to think about that. I don't remember. So yeah, I read the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It is just as good as everybody tells you, but let me explain why it's good. It is good because the author keeps the reader's interest. Like, this is such a good novel in that the author creates like a thrilling, suspenseful, like without being a thriller, you are constantly at the edge of your seat. You are constantly waiting for answers to certain questions. There's like these long-term questions that don't get solved until the end of the book, and there are some questions that get solved like in various parts, and it's just the amount of entertainment and how this woman created this novel to just keep us so intrigued. Like, that's the best part of this novel. Like, that's what I look for in novels. And then Maggie says, if I'm the only person I know who gave Evelyn Hugo 4 stars, and I wonder if something's wrong with me. Listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. But for me, Evelyn Hugo was just like, from the technical writing perspective, it was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. It is everything I would want novels to be in terms of the technical writing, like keeping me in suspense, keeping me interested, having an interesting plot, utilizing various techniques, using tropes in ways that are both comforting and still unique. Like, she just handled it so well. It was gripping, but also the characters were so well fleshed out. They felt like real people. It's difficult not to care about them. And then yeah, Morgan, you have to read it. It's a really wonderful story. And then the representation is great in terms of ethnicity, sexual orientation, definitely gender, age. It's all just handled really well. Yeah, it was really good. Okay. I read The Girl in the Red Balloon, which is Madeline from Novel Inc.'s favorite novel, or one of her favorite novels, and it was a time travel contemporary? You know, I read the whole thing, and okay, so I didn't like it. I didn't like it. What did I give it? I really forced myself because I value Madeline's opinion so much. I think she's so brilliant. I ended up giving the book 3 stars because I could get through it. I had to push myself. Preference-wise, this really wasn't for me. I'm still dipping my foot into historical fiction and time travel. And there were just so many things. Like, I really wanted the book to go differently. I wanted her to meet like her grandfather, and have the whole book be around their relationship, but it wasn't. It was more YA in that, of course, she met a boy and blah, 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 stuff happened. Then there's this like science fiction element with like the balloons, and I like metaphors. I really, really enjoy metaphors, but sometimes when metaphors lean more on the side of fantasy, it's just kind of like, well, that was nice. So I gave it 3 stars. It was really more like a 1.5. I feel like I was very generous this year with my ratings, and I'm probably just going to go back and change all my ratings because now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I'm thinking about changing them. It looks like I tried to read The Goblin Emperor, but I can't even say that I really tried to read it. I don't recall. Like, maybe I read the first page. Like, there's no way I read that book. Then I tried to read An Unkindness of Magicians, which was pretty interesting. Very fantasy, which I didn't expect. Because like from the cover, it doesn't look like it would be such a hardcore fantasy. Yeah, 1.5. An Unkindness of Magicians is like a really cool battle royale. Can I say battle royale? It's this like challenge between these houses, these fantasy houses, and they're all trying to like defeat each other in different ways. And there's like a little bit of a, not a political thing, but there's like a little bit of politics to the gameplay, and all of the relationships are like intertwined, and it's a nice, interesting fantasy novel. It just didn't wow me, and I need to be wowed. Yeah, so I didn't like it. Let's see what the rating I gave it. I bet I gave it like, I had to have given it 1 star. Wow, I gave it 2 stars. I don't know. It wasn't bad. Whoa, and then I read It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I can't believe I haven't reviewed this yet. Wow, okay. So It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover has been recommended to me a million times. I don't like Colleen Hoover's work. I find almost everything she's written to be extremely harmful to the reader. And as you know, reader health is something that I'm very... I've read a couple of Colleen Hoover novels, and they're really terrible. So every time I say that, people say, oh, well, you have to read It Ends With Us because it's based on her personal life, and it's so good, it's so well done, blah, blah, blah. I almost wish I hadn't read it so that I could, like, believe you guys. But I'm really surprised. I'm sorry. I'm just really surprised that anybody found that book to be healthy or positive in any way. I didn't review this one either. Damn. It wasn't handled well. And I work with domestic violence. I am a therapist, and I specialize in domestic violence at this point. So I think it's pretty safe to say I'm an expert professionally on the topic of domestic violence. I've gone to several trainings, and I am in charge of talking about that at work. So I feel like if I thought it wasn't handled well, that means it wasn't. Like, I'm getting to the point where it's like, this isn't an opinion, this is a fact. I'm just going to move on from that. It Ends With Us is, like, I don't care about Colleen's personal experience, because just because you experience something personally doesn't equal that you know how to talk about it in a way that'll be beneficial to others. So, like, okay, you had this in your life, okay, but that doesn't make you exempt from writing good work. Morgan says, whenever I'm at the library looking at a Colleen Hoover book, I'm like, maybe I should give her a try. And I just imagine a pocket Sylvia sitting on my shoulder screaming in my ear, no! Listen, her books are entertaining, but they're harmful. So I guess you have to figure out, like, do you want poison in your brain? Wow, I probably shouldn't have said that, but that's what I believe. I tried reading Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I couldn't really get into it. I think I was just still riding that wave from Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So I'm going to give Daisy Jones a try again in the future, but I was actually kind of annoyed Because like reading Evelyn Hugo, the women are celebrated so much that when I switched over to Daisy Jones and there were like so many men with opinions, I was like I thought we were over this. Sorry for the men that watch my channel. I heart you, but I don't need to know what men feel all the time. Brunette Bibliophile just popping in to say hi. Can't watch now, but I'll watch it when it uploads. Thanks, Chloe. Thank you very much. Okay, so what else did I read? I tried to read One Dark Throne. Did I finish it? Hot damn. I don't remember. This is the second book in those Crown series or whatever by Kendra Blake. I don't remember. Oh, it looks like I dropped it at 103 pages because I've lost interest. That's so, that's so funny because I really like Three Dark Crowns, the series. It's horrible. It is horrendously written. I don't recommend Three Dark Crowns to anyone, but I did enjoy it. It is fun, like in terms of fun. But it's a hot mess. It's an absolutely hot mess. Jubum333 says, I'm currently listening to Daisy Jones and need 6 hours to finish, but having such a hard time picking it up. Yeah, I struggled to get into it too. Queens of Fineburn, I think. Oh, is that what it's called? I've been hearing the Daisy Jones book isn't great. I don't know, Maggie. I don't know. It's definitely not as enticing and gripping as Evelyn Hugo. Hey! You've missed my face. Are you still planning on reading Dream Boy? I don't remember. I'll have to check my Goodreads and get back to you. I don't remember. So, then I read 2 books under the same title, Murder in Time, because an Aries friend wanted me to read the book Murder in Time, and I took out the wrong one. So I was reading this other book called Murder in Time, and I was making like significant progress with it. And then I started to talk to my friend about it, and she's like, well, what do you think about the time travel? And I'm like, girl, I have no idea. If there's time travel in this novel, then I am not aware, or like I must have missed something, because what I was reading did not have time travel. It was like a murder mystery. It wasn't even that bad. And she was like, no, there's significant time travel like in the first 3 chapters. And I'm like, I'm on chapter 8. So then I realized, okay, long story short, I was reading the wrong book. So I ended up just dropping that one because I'm like, I don't even care about this. I don't even like mystery. You think Daisy Jones is a book people will either love or not? Yeah, it kind of seems that way right now. Again, I feel like she should have waited. Well, she can do whatever she wants. If it were me and I saw that Evelyn Hugo was such a huge success, like I guess from a business standpoint, like you want to publish another book really fast so that that book will make a lot of money. But then like the expectations on you are banana, like out of control. So I don't know, whatever. I'm not in publishing. I shouldn't even have opinions. Maggie, you stop that. You stop it. Okay, so the Murder in Time novels, I didn't like the one I read by accident, and I couldn't get into the one I was supposed to read, so I dropped them both. Then I read Lucky Penny, which is a graphic novel, also recommended to me by an Aries friend, and it was pretty cool. I remember it a lot more than a lot of the other works I've been reading lately. Let me just pull up my Goodreads real fast. So I only gave it 3 stars because there was like a tonal shift. It was like completely contemporary throughout, and then at the end it became not altogether contemporary. But I don't know, it was fun. I don't regret reading it. I wouldn't try to stop anyone from reading it. Whew, okay, so then I read the first volume of Alex and Ada, again for an Aries friend. At that point I was surprisingly into it. I actually have volumes 2 and 3 out from the library right now, which I think there's only 3 volumes, so I might be able to finish the whole thing. Did I write a review? Oh, look at me. I wrote a review, a very short one on Goodreads. It says I loved the use of silence. I'm so professional. I like the premise, I like the positive symbolic language, I like the protagonist and the other characters and how everyone interacted, and I'm looking forward to the next volume. Fantastic! So I guess I'm still looking forward to the next volume. Then I read Mysterious Skin, also for an Aries friend. So Mysterious Skin was, how do I put this? So this year I've been reading a lot of books about child abuse. I work with children who have been abused. Like, abuse is a big part of my work as a mental health professional. And I've been reading a lot of books, including child abuse. So this was one of them. So should I like give it away? I don't know. This is a very interesting premise. Do I support it? I don't know. It definitely gave me a lot to think about. So basically, two young boys were sexually abused, and their life trajectory went, one basically imploded and one exploded sexually. So one of them gets into sex work, some pretty dangerous sex work. They're assaulted again. It's just, whenever it comes to books like this, I ask myself the question, what is this contributing? Is it just the fact that it made me think? Was that enough? Just the fact that some individuals might be able to see themselves in it, was that enough? What I like about books like this is that I walk away from them not completely solid in my thoughts. And I kind of enjoy that, because that means that the book is challenging me. So I like being challenged. I like learning. I like being able to think. I probably gave this a pretty low rating. I didn't love it. All right, I gave it 3 stars. That's not too bad. It's just, it was an experience that I won't forget. It's a novel I won't forget. But do I think it's amazing? Would I recommend it? Do I think it's helpful? I don't know. So I tried to read The Black Tides of Heaven, also for an Aries friend, and I was really looking forward to this series. This is supposed to be very non-binary friendly, genderqueer friendly, and I just couldn't get into it. Unfortunately, and I really don't want to say this, I don't definitively want to say that fantasy is not for me, because I love fantasy. I really do, but fantasy has to be handled in a particular way for me to enjoy it. So it's definitely not my primary genre. My primary genre is nonfiction. But I guess it's harder to please me with fantasy. The author would have to do more. You Were Gone, what novel? What was I just talking about? I was talking about Alex and Ada, Mysterious Skin, and The Black Tides of Heaven. And now I'm going to tell you, I also tried to read The Red Sister. Could not get into it for the life of me. I mean, that's super out of my comfort zone level fantasy. I tried to read The Strange Practice. I don't even remember what that was about. I feel like it was some Hellsing stuff. Again, fantasy. And I need my fantasy to be either very symbolic or just super entertaining, or leaning more on the contemporary side than the fantasy side. Yeah. Then I tried to read Goldfang Citrus, and I guess I couldn't get into that, but I don't really remember why. Then I tried to read Mistress of Evil, which is the Maleficent in that Disney Villains novels. And I think I got a significant chunk into it, but what I don't like about these novels is so Serena Valentino wrote The Evil Queen, right? And then I don't know what happened, several years later, she wrote The Beast Within, and now she's kind of going off on this series with all these villains, right? But she put so much original content that I don't even understand how it's fair. Why is Disney even letting her use the actual Disney character images? It's so upsetting. There's so many characters that aren't in the Disney movies, and I just don't like it. I really don't like the series. It really kind of it bugs me, because the first book was so good, And I really thought this could become one of my favorite authors, but she messed it up. Do I still recommend Practical Magic? I think so. I feel like Practical Magic is very different as a book than it is from the movie. But I read it twice, and I don't remember hating it the second time. So I think I still recommend it. The Practical Magic movie is fantastic, but the book is really good too. It's a lot more, what, female focused, female positive. I don't know, but yeah, I guess so. Hey, Kate, how are you? BookCon Queen, how are you doing? Okay, what else did I read? Okay, so I started reading The Spellbook of the Lost and Found, which I in no possible way, shape, or form thought I would ever enjoy, and I loved it. I didn't finish it because this is where my life got like super hectic and I had to really stop reading altogether and stop my astrology project. But what is it called again? Shit. The Spellbook of Lost and Found. I was just blown away by how interesting it was. There's some unrealistic stuff where like one of the sets of characters, because there's like 3 sets of characters going on. I think there's like 3 protagonists, but they're all in a different group, and I guess they like intertwine at some point. I am well. I'm glad that you're well. Oh yeah, DNF, man. We don't have time for that shit. You could die tomorrow. Like, I'm sorry. I told you, trigger warnings for this whole video, but like, I don't have that kind of time. So I'm gonna be DNFing. Just if I don't like something, like, you're out. And even if I like it, but just am not in the mood for it, I'll DNF it anyway. So Spellbook of the Lost and Found, I really loved the premise. I love the idea. I love the way the sets of characters were working. The only thing I found unrealistic was that in the 3rd set of characters, they were like squatting or something. It's like teenagers living on their own. It's hard for me to suspend disbelief in certain situations. Like, sure, there are some like teenage runaways that are like squatting somewhere and living by themselves or whatever. Sure, but it just seems like such a like written for teens sort of thing. Like something that teens like thinking about. Like, oh, imagine if I was squatting or like living in an abandoned house with my brother and my best friend. Like I'm too old for that shit. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway, I really loved it. I did not finish it because my life was turned upside down, but I will finish it because I really, really liked it. Then, was it also in Aries? I think so. No, I think it was a Pisces. I think a Pisces friend recommended Stronger Than You Know by Jolene Perry. This book is phenomenal. I've literally renewed it from the library like 6 times because there's no audiobook that I know of, so it's really hard to finish it, but it's so good. It's about PTSD and, again, child abuse. That's like, I don't know, I guess like the theme of this year in my reading. It's just phenomenal. Like the way this girl's PTSD is depicted and the way she's like progressing from living in a harmful household to like living with like a family and like progressing and making friends, and like it's just so good, and I love it. Jolene Perry, Stronger Than You Know by Jolene Perry. I'm just so excited. I feel like so hyped now to read it. Then I tried to read Star-Crossed, which is a Meadow Braid novel. It's like a retelling of Romeo and Juliet from a female/female perspective, with the romance being 2 Meadow Braid gals. I really liked it. Again, where are the audiobooks, people? Like, I need audiobooks for all of this because I would have been done reading them. I really liked it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just like, damn, I want to pick that up again. I really want to see what happens. These are the middle grade novels that we deserved when we were kids, and I'm really happy that this generation of middle graders is getting them. Then I started reading the 5th in the Wings of Fire series. If you don't know, Wings of Fire is a fantastic middle grade series, but don't let that fool you. It is like phenomenal fantasy about dragons. So well written. It's exciting. It's super unique. There's like nothing tropey about it. The characters are fantastic. And again, I picked it up, but I got a little bit like held up by stuff and I just got overwhelmed by my books. But I will definitely be reading it because it's only book 5 and I'm gonna read the whole series. It's one of my favorite series. Definitely one of my favorite fantasy series. I strongly recommend it. So that was The Brightest Night in the Wings of Fire series by Tui T. Sutherland. What else did I read? I read I'm Afraid of Men by a trans woman, an Indian trans woman. I want to say she's Indian. Vivek Shraya. This book was phenomenal. I gave it 5 stars. It's extremely short. Oh wow, you bought Wings of Fire because of me. Thank you so much. It's so good. You need to like DM me your every thought. What is my favorite character? Maybe Glory? Oh, Peril. Peril is my favorite character. 100%. Maybe followed by Glory. But I love Sunny and Clay. And then the other two. I forget their names. The Hermione one. That's like how I refer to her in my brain. It's like the know-it-all Hermione one. That's like the blue one. And the night one. Whatever. Yeah, I hope you love it. And let me know what you think. So, I did read I'm Afraid of Men. And it was phenomenal. Ooh, I have a review for this one. Okay, so you can actually check out my Goodreads. I have a thorough review of this novel because it's so good. It's short, but it gives you all you need. It's about a trans woman who tells us what her life was like before she transitioned, during the transition, and after. But there's so much more depth to it than that because we're talking about like multiple things. We're talking about gender, sexual orientation, race, the way people treat each other. It was just so good. It's definitely on my list of top favorite reads of the year. Strongly recommend. Then I tried reading Romancing the Inventor by Gail Carriger. So the Soulless series is a little funny with me. Thank you. Please read my Goodreads reviews and add me on Goodreads if you haven't yet. But yes, I tried to read Romancing the Inventor because Genevieve, is it LeFou, is like one of my favorite characters of all time, which is funny because I don't really like the Soulless series. Like I read the whole thing. I gave like 3 of them 4 stars. And I just love Genevieve. I love Genevieve so much, even if I'm not wild about the series. So the author made this little novella or novelette, or I don't even know, about Genevieve and this, is it a maid? I don't even know. This woman. And you would think I would love it, but I was pretty bored. So that was a bummer because I love Genevieve. She's fantastic. What did I read? Oh wow, I have 2 books left to share with you. I read Unfuck Your Habitat. Okay, so I know that minimalism and like tidying and organizing is like a fad right now. It's like super trendy. But you know, it's also fun. I'm really into it. I'm really into organizing and all that nonsense, like Marie Kondo. I loved Marie Kondo before she was on Netflix and all that stuff. When the book community knew about her before everybody else did, so we can feel special. So Unfuck Your Habitat is another cleaning organizing book, but it is the only cleaning organizing book I've read so far, and I've read maybe 4 or 5. It is the only one that speaks to disability, including mental health. It's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. This author understands and just creates a narrative about how to clean and organize in just such a accepting way of all people, all lifestyles, and it's just it's a breath of fresh air, and I just really, really, really loved it, and I want to read it again, and I will read it again. Then I read Good Morning, Good Night by Lin-Manuel Miranda, and I was underwhelmed. You know, like Lin-Manuel Miranda is just like the purest little cherub of our lives. He's a phenomenal person. He's so positive. He makes this world a better place. Though I will never forgive the fat phobia in Hamilton. And Hamilton was not perfect in terms of female representation. It really wasn't. But I appreciate Lin-Manuel Miranda and everything that he does, and his hard work in sharing joy and like encouragement with others. So like I appreciate this, and I will always read anything he comes out with. I think he's just a delightful individual. If I had to pick like favorite celebrities, he's definitely up there. Um, so like for a fan, it's like a worthwhile read, but it's like you could read it in 15 minutes. It's not. It's just like a bunch of his tweets. So you should be updated on every novel I've read so far. I'm gonna have to do another video about manga. Um, so let's do another 15 minutes of me being here, but y'all have to ask me some questions now because I've basically caught you up on a lot of books that I've recently read, and I told you about my life, so I don't have much else to update you about. So for the 6 of you that are in here, let's get some questions going for me, my super interesting self. I wish I could show you. I should probably show you the babies, right? They're so fucking cute. But I don't want to fuck up my camera. I have it set up pretty nice. Come on, folks. Should I tell you? I think Trina was tweeting me about the cats. She wanted me to say something. Okay. Trina said she wants me to talk about the cats, which I did like for a majority of this live show. Do I need to tell you anything else? I got them from a rescue. Definitely no breeder, no like kitty mills or whatever nonsense. I was originally going to get them from a pet store, but I saw them online and I fell in love. I totally judge them by their appearances. They're so cute. Am I continuing the astrology project? No, I am not, because I'm an epic failure. Hi, sweet pea. I am not. I'm not continuing the astrology project because it's very overwhelming, and my job has been so much, which hopefully is going to stop. And I know that I say that like every 3 days, but I really think I figured out a way to stop having to work from home and having to work on the weekends. So I'm going to have a life now, so I'm going to read again. But the astrology project, I don't know. I don't think I can hack it. Oh, my mom's calling me. Sorry, Mom. Morgan says, I am hearing the ice cream truck from my childhood, and I'm having flashbacks about how I never allowed to get anything. Go get some ice cream. My mom never let me get those the cartoonish ones with like the bubblegum nose. She only ever let me get like the vanilla swirl with rainbow or chocolate sprinkles. I remember that. And she was right, because all of the other ice cream tastes like shit. Oh, you're broke. Sorry. Save up some money so you can get some ice cream. I don't know how else to help you. Yeah, I'm done talking to you about books. So unless you have anything else you want from me. Oh, I was gonna answer something that Trina said. My mom is texting me. I'm busy, mother. I'm talking to my friends. All right, Trina says, I'm kind of wanting to try solo live shows for wrap-ups, so any tips you would have for that, how to run it smoothly, how to make it engaging would also be appreciated. Okay, Trina, so this is my second time doing a live show wrap-up, and basically I have my Goodreads open, and I'm going through all the books, and I'm trying to hit on just, like, I ask myself in my head the question, like, do I recommend this or not? And that's really the point I want to focus on. So anything that I remember about the book, I'll mention, but in terms of like a live show wrap up, I just want to make it clear, like, is this book worth reading or not? So that's the kind of question that I ask myself, and that's what I focus on sharing when I'm doing these live shows. And it's honestly it's really easy. This is like the laziest thing I've ever done, and I can't believe I haven't done it before, because like I'm not gonna have to edit this. I'm not gonna have to do like anything. This is just me talking. So that's my advice for it going smoothly. I do recommend you, like, I don't know how much of a talker you are, but I talk a lot in my personal and professional life. So I'm very good at like not having silences. I feel like when you start doing live shows, that might be a little overwhelming. Like, it might make you nervous. It might make you feel uncomfortable. So I just recommend like getting into the flow of like talking a lot. If you're especially anxious, as I know some people are, maybe have like a little index card or like a post-it saying like 5 things that you want to talk about, and then when you get through all those 5 things in the moments of silence, you can just be like, peace out, guys, I'm out of here. So that's my advice. I'm really enjoying doing these kinds of impromptu live shows. Asking for questions is also easy, and Trina, you have like a bazillion subscribers, so I'm sure they would ask you more questions. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This is so much fun. I missed you guys too. I just, I love editing. I love editing, but I just haven't been able to. I have like a bunch of videos that I filmed before. Maggie, listen, I appreciate that. And because I'm an Aquarius just like you, I understand that. It's so funny. I told one of my supervisees this week that I don't understand the feeling of guilt because I'm dead inside. Morgan says, I'm loving the videos you've been putting out. I go on my weekend Sylvia binge. You are too much. Thank you, Ashley. Yeah, I miss you guys. This is fun. What was I gonna say? I feel like I was getting somewhere with some topic. I have some videos I filmed like way before the chaos began, like when I started my author showdown, as I call it, even though there's like no winner, all the authors are losers. Anyway, moving on from that comment. So I know I posted like the first one, but there's like 11 parts of that video series. So I could literally be like editing that and uploading it for you, which I really hope to do. As long as I like it still, because if not, then I'll have to refilm it. But I do have like some stuff I could upload before like really getting back into the swing of things. But I really need to read. So all of you are responsible now to make me read. Okay, so just like stay on top of me. Morgan says, as a Scorpio, I either feel everything at once or nothing at all. Yeah, I couldn't be a Scorpio. Oh my God, I couldn't be a water sign. Like, I can't tell you, like, I don't want to brag. I don't want to be like one of those like edgy people who are just like, oh, I don't have feelings. Like, obviously I experience emotions. It's just, I am so insensitive. It's like wild. It's absolutely wild. And I love it. And I wouldn't give it up for the world. Being an Aquarius is fucking awesome. So unless, all right, if I don't get any more questions, I'm gonna dip. Do people still say dip, or is that like a 90s thing? Guys, I'm so old. I just keep getting older and older. I'm getting so much less cool. Not that I ever really was, but maybe I was. I don't know. So you got 8 more minutes of me, folks. What do you want me to do? I'm not gonna dance. I'm not gonna show you my kittens. I don't know why. I don't know. I think I just want to have like an unveiling of them because they're so precious. Like, you're not even ready. Maggie, you're also insensitive. Yeah, it's an Aquarius thing. Oh, thanks, Morgan. I think I'm cool too, but I'm also an epic nerd. But I like that. Like, I'm not using that as an insulting term. But yeah, I think I'll show you the kittens later. God, they're so fucking precious. Why are you sleeping? I'm so loud. Oh well. Morgan says I'm too empathic for my own good. That's nice. I mean, that sucks for you, but like it's nice for the people you're around, I guess. Maggie says, at my partner's sister's 8th grade graduation, I asked why the people were dressed like a cult because it's a Catholic church. Oh, that's funny. So this was fun. Because I'm really struggling to get into the swing of things, I might just do like live shows for a little while, but I don't know. If you watched this video, please leave me a heart, smiley face, or emoji down below, and come talk to me in the comments.